But yeah, so my name is Makal Katide. I'm a social entrepreneur, an entrepreneur, husband, a father, son. I'm all of that. But for the purpose of this discussion, I'm going to delve just quickly about mental health. So one of the biggest problems that we have as society is that outside of institutions that deal with mental health, we don't talk about mental health. So you find yourself as an entrepreneur, you start a business, unentshisakalo, you call it business, and then things don't go your way, and you start doubting yourself, and you don't know where to turn to. And then luckily something comes up and we are pauper, you make a bit of money, iphele leyo mali, you try again, you've got this drive because you're an entrepreneur, you've got this drive to always engage yourself in business. But the underlying thing here is your mental health. How do you keep it together? Now, I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist or any of those experts in how the mind works and human behavior, but I have experience and stories to tell about my journey as an entrepreneur. How I've lost millions, how I've recouped, how I have tried to keep my mental health in check. And we have to be honest with ourselves because we're entrepreneurs or we are going to be entrepreneurs. One of the things that happens is you get to a point where you want to end it all, or just go away. Let me give you a funny story. So Mr. Klaba had a conference in KwaZulu-Natal, no, not KwaZulu-Natal, in Swaziland, a few last week, no, 2 weeks ago. And he said, no, Matkao, come together. And no, let's go together. But for one or two reasons, that trip didn't happen. And I was going through so much, you know, and in going through so much, I got a thought in my head that said, Joe, go to Swaziland, don't come back. I can't say it wasn't a serious thought, but it was a thought that I had. Now I'm married to an amazing wife, got beautiful kids, but business is slow. Things are not going to plan. 2025 was just bad. So something in me said, go to Swaziland, don't come back. So in our talk, we are going to delve deeper into the traps, the things that make us forget that in our development as entrepreneurs, agripreneurs, or solopreneurs, one of the things that we do is forget to take care of our mental health. And then when things happen, we find that we are lacking or we're incapable of coming out of that rut. Let me say this, 9 times out of 10, as an entrepreneur, you don't celebrate. You don't have that thing, I've made it. No. Because you know that next year or the next month or next week or the next day, you have to wake up and do it again. So, like I said, Makao Katide, a fellow entrepreneur, let me put this disclaimer. I'm not an expert, but I've got enough life experience and I work with enough people. I assist a lot of people in dealing with mental health as men, as women, as young people, and as entrepreneurs. So yeah, I'm looking forward to spending some time with you guys. Yeah, this 5-minute story does not work for me, Mr. Baba and the team. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So we'll share the information. on the social media platforms on when that will happen. But yes, I'm truly excited. I'm truly honored to be asked to speak to you guys. It's truly an honor, and I applaud what you guys are doing. Thank you very much. I'm signing out.
Well, thank you so much, Makawa. That was a very 5 minutes worthwhile. You were able to surmise it very well, my brother. I know you're used to talking all the way, but that time is coming where you can really uh, talk to us about the importance of this very, very crucial subject. Thank you so much, Masabote. You are free to join in if you have time, but we're now going to get into our critical session of the day. And Mankawa will be coming back, as he has already mentioned. And I would like us to have a panel where we discuss these things. Like I always said, we like to make entrepreneurship look fancy and look like it's something very easy to do. But truth be told, ayilula njengalokhu kwesinye isikhathi siye sicabanga noma sikhulume. Abantu, they go through a lot just because they want to be entrepreneurs and make it out there in life. They meet so many barriers, and those barriers sometimes are so insurmountable that difficult to really deal with. But I'm very happy that we'll be able to have those sessions and really take care of this, take care of our lives, our minds, and all of that. Right. Once again, please mute yourself when you're coming in. Lydia Matsebe and others, mute yourself because when we remove you, you won't be able to join us for the next 3 weeks or so. Because it's more like you are in a wilderness for a while. But we'll be forced to remove you if we keep getting the feedback noise behind you because you don't want to mute your phone or your laptop. So now we are going to get into our very important and the crucial subject of the day, which subject has to do with um, our the cryptocurrency. I did mention that I'm invested in crypto, and I've been um, invested in crypto for a while longer. In my life, I have lost lots of money with BitClub. I must say that, and a lot of other, coins trying to get into this crypto space. And this session, just like all other sessions, Amanda Noto, we always put a disclaimer that when you listen in and learn, this is for your own empowerment. It's for you to make your own judgment and be able to really take up the opportunity as an entrepreneur and be part of this journey. And the journey is never easy. It's got its ups and downs. Just like anything in life, there's no guarantees. But we soldier on because we believe in what we are trying to do, which is to build wealth and to ensure that we really succeed in this journey of entrepreneurship. We can't walk it alone. We've got to be able to walk it with others, and those that have walked the walk and have talked the talk, and they understand the journey that we are embarking upon, all of us. So thank you so much once again for joining in. We've got two of my colleagues today, and these colleagues are Isaac Masilela. Isaac Masilela, he is going to introduce his other colleague, which is Willem Bester. I've met them both, but particularly with Isaac, I've known him for as long as I've been a young man, from when we're in our teenage stages and studying at the Technikon then, now called the MUT, both of us doing electrical engineering, and we've known each other literally for over 30 years. And I know he's a sound business person, very much involved in property business for many, many years, and as well as in other businesses. He always shares with me opportunities, vice versa, and I'm very happy that today he's going to be sharing together with his colleague Willem about the cryptocurrency Isaac, as I mentioned to you last time, I wanted to please, you literally have got about 30 plus minutes with your colleague to talk to us about the cryptocurrency story. You may as well just give us a bit of a background of crypto as to where does it come from, what does it mean, and why are we having crypto and all of those types of things. Yeah. Just to give that brief background story of crypto so that people, before you talk about the DAO, I don't know who's making this noise. Yeah. Because it doesn't sound here. I need to remove this person. Yeah, so that you talk about the DAO, you just give us the brief background on crypto. So you will be exchanging this platform with Mr. Willem Bester, who I see already is here, and would like for you to please open up your microphone as well as your video whilst you are talking, because we are recording these sessions and we upload them onto our Zoom, onto our YouTube channel, so that people can be in a position to really be part of this and listen in the future. So, Mr. Masilela, over to you, sir. Isaac, kindly unmute yourself and open your video so that we can listen to you. I see you're not yet done so. Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you, Klaba. I don't know whether, can you hear me? Not sure, it looks like I'm struggling with the signal where I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, where we can hear you now, but we want to see you as well.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, can see you. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, especially for giving us this opportunity to come and talk about crypto. However, I would like to introduce myself so that your members, they can have an understanding as to whom are they talking to. So basically, I think I started my career at electrical engineering, as Baba has already alluded, after qualifying. Started with a company called Siemens. As a young man and a man who was ambitious at that time, I had my dreams. When I arrived at Siemens, I wanted to see myself through the electrical engineers that I found there in the field. And I was so discouraged when I wanted to see myself through them because they were there. Some were 5 years old in the field, some were 10 years old. But when I look into the kind of the assets that had accumulated or achieved, I was not inspired because it was not aligning with what I was dreaming of. Then I decided that perhaps maybe if I change a company and go to an electrical company like Eskom, which is still a national company supplying electricity in the country, which I did. And it was more discouraging again when I arrived at Eskom because what I found was people who are 15 or 20 years there, and the kind of assets that they had, it was not inspiring, or it was not aligning with my dream. Then on the process, I happened to get hold of a book of Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Started attending the seminars conducted by him. Then through that process, I was inspired to start investment in property in terms of rental and construction. Around 2005-06, I resigned at Eskom, now resigning to go and do property development and construction company. All the people that knew me at that particular point in time, they were very much amazed about such a drastic kind of a decision, whereby you're moving from electrical engineering to civil engineering, and yet no qualification whatsoever. The only thing that I had was the inspiration of the kind of goals that I want to achieve through property investment and construction. So I never look back from that time until now. Around 2015, we happened to attend a seminar together with my wife, whereby it was talking about cryptocurrencies. I couldn't understand it. The presentation was about Bitcoin and so forth, Bitcoin mining, Bitcoin clubs. But amazingly, my wife was so inspired. So when we came from that seminar, because I didn't want to discourage her, looking to the excitement that he had, then we decided to take a family decision, and that decision was that I am focused on a property development and construction. Perhaps you focus on Bitcoin. Then we've agreed. Then my wife was leading that portfolio of cryptocurrency investment or portfolio of the Bitcoins. You keep on attending the seminars, coming home, being very excited. But when I asked her as to what the excitement is all about, he couldn't really elaborate or explain properly so that I can understand. Until he built a portfolio of 4 Bitcoin in 2019. And during that time, Bitcoin was around 160,000 to 200,000. Then I decided to come in and take over the portfolio. So I've been in that space from that time until to date. I think the advantage of then and now, during that time, most of the projects were being killed by the regulators because anything that was causing an outflow of money out of the country in any other form other than the forms that we know, especially if ever it was going through cryptocurrencies, they used to kill those projects, call them scams, call them that they are not registered with securities, call them whatever ways that they want to call them. So I've been in those projects like those. We've been banned, not because the project was a scam, but simply because it's touching on a nerve of the regulators. It's also touching or taking from the inflows that's supposed to be going to the banks, but now these inflows are going into cryptocurrencies. But you are very excited at this point in time that to say the cryptocurrencies has reached a level whereby it's now regulated around the world. There's no ambiguity around it. They are no longer now stoppable because they are legal in each and every country where they are, including our country here in South Africa. So the portfolio that I've built as far as cryptocurrency is concerned, taking over from my wife in 2019, it's more or less now equivalent to a portfolio of the property assets that I've built over 2 decades. So what I've achieved in 2 decades through property development and construction, I have achieved that within a space of half a decade, within less than 5 years. Our family cryptocurrency portfolio is more or less equivalent to the property asset portfolio that has been built over the period of 20 years. So I'm full-time now on cryptocurrency as an investor, and I'm being surrounded by very successful cryptocurrency experts or investors. I would like to introduce my mentor, which is Willem Bester, whom is my lead in terms of the crypto projects that we are doing. Willem, over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isaac. I hope you guys can hear me well. It's an absolute privilege that you guys make some time available for me. And a little bit about myself. My story started back in 2006, actually a little bit before that, because I come from, my mom and dad. They were entrepreneurs from day one. They never really worked a job as far as I can remember. But with that, I can so relate to the previous speakers, because the entrepreneurship journey is a very hard journey, and I've got those stories to tell and to share. So from a young age, I'm also an entrepreneur. I was looking for opportunities, but I did choose the IT industry, and I really thought I could work myself into wealth. And I did 25-hour days. Yes, I didn't sleep. I went through the night doing IT, never having enough money at the end of the month. I just was always short, and I got to a point where I was really frustrated, like the previous speaker said. I got to the point where I actually just wanted to go. And luckily for me, somebody invited me to a seminar back in those days where they taught us to work smarter and not harder, where we can accumulate assets that can, that can create a legacy for our family. And I really resonated with that. That was back in 2006. And I went onto that journey. And my journey started with property. And the idea was to accumulate property in a secure structure that I can retire. My dream and my vision was to be a millionaire. And so I went on that journey, accumulating properties. But very shortly, I ran out of cash flow because the salary could only go that far. And I was constantly looking for other ways, to earn additional income, to support that vision, to create more assets. And, fortunately for me, in 2018, I met a group of entrepreneurs who do business a little bit different around the world. And they introduced me to a different way of business. And at the same time, they introduced me to cryptocurrency. But unfortunately, I had to learn the hard way. Like some of the previous speakers said, they've lost a lot of in crypto. So did I. And if you have had a bad experience in crypto, don't feel alone. The norm is only 3 people out of 100 actually make good money in crypto. So that's why I made it now my passion. My passion is to help other people to win this game. Because what I've realized, becoming wealthy is actually boring. It's that thing, you need to do it. You get a small win, and then you need to do it again, and you need to do it again, and you need to do it again. So let me share some stats with you about my history, about me, if you guys don't mind. Is it possible to get some screen sharing?
Yes,
I'm
Willem,
not sure.
I'm gonna do it right away. Just give me a minute. I'll definitely do that for you.
Thank you very much.
Second.
So as I said, I'm coming from the IT sector, so I really do enjoy the technical part of it. So sometimes I tend to go too much technical, but I'm going to try and do it in a story form for you guys with some real examples. So I want
Okay,
to
now
take you
go ahead,
guys.
Willem. Yeah.
I can see it. Thank you very much. So I want to take you guys back to 2017, and this is my journey. This is a platform called Luno. It is a regulated platform, and I'm not promoting this platform at all. This is just where my journey started. So my Bitcoin journey, let me ask the audience this, maybe in the chat box. If you do have crypto, maybe put a 1, and if you're brand new to the crypto industry, and put a 2 for me. I just want to maybe see, what type of people is in the room. Got a 1, got a 1. Okay, cool. Got some 1s, got some 2s. Awesome. So we got a mix. Okay, fantastic. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know there. Okay, so as you can see there, my physical crypto journey was started on the 7th of the 7th, 2017, and I bought my first 100 rands worth of Bitcoin back then because this was this new thing. Okay, and I had to test it out. And I'm one of those guys, when something is new, I always start very small. I start slow and figuring it out. And I also started Bitcoin mining. Okay, so you can see there's like a hash flare um, deposit and a cent fee, and I played around. We sended some Bitcoin one another. I did some other business, and I actually exchanged some services for Bitcoin back then, and it was great fun. Okay, but little did I understand, how wealth is really created, and the point what I want to show you guys is wealth is created over time. Okay, the longer you can stay in an asset, the better you are. If you can stay in an asset for a long period of time, I think Mr. Warren Buffett is the guy that says he just never sells shares. When he sells shares, it's because then his strategy is changing. He doesn't go in and out. He's not a trader. Okay, and I'm also not a trader. One of my other mentors said he's in the property game. He said, flipping properties is flipping stupid. Okay, so I'm at that same thing. Flipping crypto is flipping stupid. And here is why. Because I accumulated some crypto, and you can see the first one I've sold was on the 6th of August. But this was like a test thing. And then my miners started mining, producing assets for me. And I made the decision to turn my income of my assets into cash flow because, you know, I didn't believe in this thing yet. My belief system weren't what it was supposed to be. And there you can see on the 10th of September, I sold 0.011 Bitcoin for 673 Rand. And time goes on, did some work with people, got some Bitcoin, played around. And then regularly, I withdraw. I sold the assets for cash flow. So there you can see, let me find some more ones here. Okay, there I sold another 0.044 for 4,610 Rand. Okay, and as you can go, I can go on every week. I started selling assets. So let me just show you what this lesson cost me because I didn't understand the nature of Bitcoin. So today a Bitcoin is worth 1.629 million Rand, and we are now at the down. I mean, it's been heavily oversold in the last few weeks. But just look at this. I mean, that first transaction cost me 17,000 Rand. That's an expensive lesson. And that lesson is, is on the blockchain. So it will remind me forever about the mistake I made. The next one cost me 31,000. The next one cost me 67,000. The next one cost me 48,000 because I only got 5,000. And if I kept those assets up until today, it would have been worth this. And if you keep it for a longer period of time, because of the nature of Bitcoin, because it's a limited supply, and the demand keeps growing, and because it's got a true utility, it just is an asset that you just do not want to sell. Okay, on this specific note, I would like to introduce you to another asset called Apertum. So why do I like Apertum? Because it's basically the new version of Bitcoin. And I'm going to fast forward to the basics of this specific asset. Um, it's also a fixed supply asset. It's got 100 million in pre-mint. There's only 2 billion, so in total 2.1 billion of them. There's a burning protocol that deletes some of these assets every transaction in an uncertain period of time. So there will always be lesser and lesser and lesser of this specific asset. And what this asset does, it's taking what Bitcoin does every 10 minutes and it's doing it every second. So it's right now a very fast blockchain. So if we can sum it all together, it's got the tokenomics of Bitcoin, which is the limited supply, the burning functionality. It's got smart contracts like Ethereum, and it's got speed double of Solana. So right now, it's the fastest, cheapest blockchain on the market. Okay, so why does this excite me? Because this blockchain only launched on the 1st of February. And from then up until now, it's already done 4.6 million blocks. There's no other blockchain that's completed this many blocks in such a short period of time. It's already completed 6.1 million transactions. Okay, it's already got 252,000 different addresses on it. Okay, because so it's very exciting to see how quickly this specific blockchain has been growing. Okay, now I want to take you guys back to the price point. So if you compare Bitcoin, I think we are like 5 or 10% from January. If you take Ethereum, we also in single digit growth. If you take Solana, single digit growth. If you take a coin like Polygon, we're basically in a negative. If you compare it back to January, because it's all on the top. If you take a project like Apertum, you'll see it launched on the 18th at 0.2 $2.50 cents, and it peaked at $4, and it's now stable at roughly about $0.50. So if you put that in perspective, if you got into this specific asset from February up to now, your portfolio would have been up almost 2,000% because we started on the 18th of February, and right now we're sitting at 0.47. Okay, and I like to go to CoinMarketCap because on CoinMarketCap you can see the transparency. So right now you'll see this specific project has a health rating or a profile score of 83%, which is actually good. Over here you can see they've already won multiple awards for the technology that they bring to the table. Apertum is all about transparency. It's all about enabling the average person to tokenize. Okay, because that's the new word. If you listen to BlackRock, they own about 30,000 companies. They're speaking about tokenizing every one of those companies in the next 80 years. That is where the world is going. They're going away from the traditional world, and they're moving onto blockchain. They're moving onto tokenization. And this is exactly what this project is focused on. So here you can read a bit more. You can go and read what the community says. Yes, there are good stuff and there's bad stuff. That's why I absolutely love this. And right now you can see it's sitting at a rating of 647 of 9,000. That's in the first few months of this project's lifetime, which is very exciting for me. Okay, so anybody here who would like to take one of their companies or one of their projects onto the blockchain, Apertum is transparent and easy. It's got a wizard where you can, within 10 minutes, you can have your token ready. You can have your token basically trading on a DEX, and you can be in the game. Okay, so taking it further. So what I've learned based on my experience, how to win this game. So I don't sell assets anymore. So I've identified this asset as an up-and-coming asset that I would like to have part of my game plan. And all that I do is I just accumulate. So here's my physical holdings. So you can see over time, all that I do is I just add more and more and more of these assets. Why? Because I've learned the lesson. I showed you guys, I got into Bitcoin and I sold at what I thought was the top. But yeah, I made some mistakes. So I'm basically correcting that mistakes now. And I'm teaching people to do the same. That's all. So choose your assets, whether you like this specific project or if you like whichever project you like, make sure the fundamentals are good. Make sure there's a community supporting it, backing it. Then all you do is put money into that specific or put value into that specific project that you don't need tomorrow or the day after. It's wealth creation. We want it to grow over time. Okay, so when we look at this specific project, how can you get involved in Apertum? How can you get your hands on it? Well, they made it super, super easy. There's a platform called DAO. So that if you think about Apertum, you can see the picture of a mall. Here by us, we've got the Village Mall. I live in Harties. In that mall, there's different shops. So Apertum is the mall, and in that mall, there's a shop called DAO1. The DAO1 is responsible to get the initial community going, to get the basic fuel into the ecosystem. And it's got a store, and in that store there are different products. Right now there are products, there are 10 different products. The product is a software license. Okay, so this is what I love about this technology. It is so we buy a software license, and that software license gives you access to AI tools. Right now, there are two different AI tools. The first one is a smart trader that give you access to go and trade some of the top markets over there. So you'll see they basically only have the top 4 markets that you can trade automatically. And this smart trader doesn't really use leverage. All it does, it buys when the market goes down. So this week it's buying. And when the market goes up, it sells and it realizes profit. It takes the emotion out of it. Okay, and it's absolutely automated, set and forget. The second thing it does, once you've got these specific tokens now, these Apertum tokens, you can now put them to work for you. Okay, so imagine I had my Bitcoin, I didn't need to sell them. I imagine I could put my Bitcoin into a smart contract that still sits in my wallet, and I get rewards for that. So this is exactly where the world is going. We don't put our value into platforms anymore. We keep everything in our wallet. So this specific AI staking opportunity is an opportunity where you deposit some Apertum into it, and then over time you get rewards for it. But it never leaves your wallet. It never leaves your custody. You just lose the usability of it for a specific period of time, and that is automated on the blockchain. So it's immutable. It can never not happen exactly as it's been programmed. So this gives you a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4-year option over there. And how does it look in the real life? Let me take you here to my store. So you can see this is how the typical trader will look. It's a smart contract that is all verifiable on the blockchain. This is number 14805. This specific one has now been, I bought it on the 6th of November, the specific bot. It's set and forget, it's loaded. At any point in time, I can cancel this contract, and whatever assets is inside this specific contract will be released back into my wallet. And this contract sits inside my wallet. So technically, it is full-time in my possession, which make it super cool. And all this specific bot does, it goes to the market. So it opened up an order for 258 Apertums. So it bought some stock at a grid level of 0.53. It bought at 0.516. And now it's waiting for the price to move. If the price moves, so there you can see grid level 555, and then it's sold. So the liquidity stays inside the smart contract. The profit becomes mine to claim. And now I can use that profit to compound my position. I can withdraw it into an asset, or I can withdraw it into a cash flow and take that and go buy bread and milk. That is the one option. The second option is the staking opportunity. So with this specific license comes the staking opportunity. So when we look at the staking opportunity, it will take you to a third-party website, which looks like this. Over here, you can go and have a look at the tokenomics. So in essence, what's happening, I take my Apertum, I lock it into a smart contract that sits inside my wallet, and then I get rewarded this specific platform's token, which is a BitX token, which has got a market value. And then I can choose when the time arrives, as per the smart contract definition, I can go and sell it for cash, or I can put it into a secondary staking pool where I can earn fees off this trading platform for life. Okay, and that's super cool. So this is what we are actually looking at as investors. We're looking for that cash flow opportunities where we manage our own assets. So this is exactly what it is. So when we take you into this smart contract, you will see there I've got right now 3 of them. I've locked in 4, 2, 5, so it's about 7,000 of these Apertums, and I've already earned these BitX rewards. So when you look at them, you'll see it will give you a certain date, and on that date, a certain amount of these tokens will become available, and then I can go and trade them here on the marketplace, which is all decentralized in your own wallet. For USDT, or as I said, you can put them into the pool and start accumulating some value. So when you look at this specific option, so remember now, I own the asset, which is Apertum. I'm not making the same mistake as I made with Bitcoin, selling it for cash flow. All that I'm doing is I'm parking it. So I'm still enjoying the capital growth of my Apertum, okay? And at the same time, I'm also expecting some additional cash flow based on the number of staking on certain dates. So right now I'm looking at roughly about 20,000 rands for that staking opportunity that will flow roughly between the 5th and the 6th. Well, not roughly, exactly on the 6th and the 5th of February. And now I can take that assets and put them in the pool, or all depends on my strategy and my time by then, what I'm going to do with that value. The bottom line is that value will become available to me, which is super exciting. Okay, so this is the product side. And what I love about this is we own our asset at all times. We never hand it over to anybody else. It's a smart contract that runs on the blockchain. And there's also a business opportunity. And I just want to quickly change the screen here. Then I'll quickly show you how the business opportunity looks. And then we'll be handing back to you, Mr. Isaac. So just give me one second over there. Well, it's a little bit more than a second. I just need to click the right buttons here. Almost there. Okay, so let me share the screen while we're waiting for this wallet to connect. Okay, we're in. Okay, fantastic. So screen sharing has stopped. Okay, let's try one more time. Okay, so there's also a business opportunity. So maybe you are at the point where I were in 2006, or just after that, when I started getting my assets. because I got to the point where, you know, I was running out of cash to buy more assets. And this is what I love about this specific opportunity. We got the asset, we got the products, and if you're also looking for extra ways to get extra cash flow, there's an opportunity for $9 a month. That's not even 200 Rand a month, that you can own your own franchise, and then you can become an educator and help other people in this space, you know, to duplicate what we do. Okay, and this business opportunity is got 9 levels that you can earn off. It's got multiple ways that you get paid, but the bottom line is, you know, you can build a customer base. So right now I've got a customer base of just under 800, and you know, we've got some good you know, additional cash flow coming in that you can now use again to build more assets. So I really hope that you guys got some nuggets. Hope you got some value. And you know, if there's any questions, I'm very sure there's channels that we can channel it, and we can help you. There's also some community training events that you guys can come and attend, and we would love to host you and help you on your journey to reach the goals that you all have set for yourself. So on that note, back to you, Mr. Isaac.
Thank you so much, Willem. I think that will be our session. The next, I'll hand over to Mr. Klaba to direct us in terms of question. Thank you, Klaba. Kuku.
Well, thank you so much, gentlemen. Thanks, Willem. That was very informative. I'm sure there are questions. I know that you couldn't necessarily offload everything to us at such a short space of time, but I'm counting on the fact that there are sessions that you conduct weekly, virtually and physical sessions for people that may take an interest in this particular investment. So I think there are already some questions there, which I think you may just need to attempt, Willem and Isaac. Danaswa, we've got a very diverse group here from Zimbabwe, from USA, from Ethiopia, from Eswatini. It's just not people from South Africa. So you must please understand that. I've got Danaswa from Zimbabwe, very informative information. I'm sure, Brother Isaac, you can kindly help us here in Zimbabwe to actually venture into this kind of investment. As you know, in Zim, it is not that much appreciable. So probably, Isaac, are you able to see those and Willem, those?
I can see them. So I'll quickly run through them, and we can do it like a collaboration. So guys, we are a global network already. The only places that currently is not allowed to take part in the products, guys, and we need to differentiate between the products and the blockchain. The blockchain runs on top of Avalanche. So everywhere in the world where you got internet connection and you got access to like a wallet, which right now we use MetaMask or Zova, or there's more than 400 wallets. You can get your hands on Apertum, or you can use the Apertum blockchain to tokenize your product. Okay, but when it comes to DAO1, where we interact with certain, you know, with the shops in the mall, as I can say, currently Canada and the USA is not allowed to take part in DAO1, but you are allowed to take advantage of the Apertum, you know, on the blockchain. You just need to find ways to do it. Okay, so yes, we can definitely help you guys in Zimbabwe. The next answer is my favorite topic, so that's good. Hello, Willem. It's tokenization similar to IPO general terms. So the way that I understand tokenization, it's more like competing with the current share system. Okay, so where you got coins and you got tokens. So Apertum is not a token. Apertum is a coin because it's the native coin of the blockchain, and Apertum is like Ethereum. You can run multiple smart tokens on top of it, like Tether USDT is a token running on multiple blockchains. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for you. So no, it's not like an IPO. Everything that I've showed you is real. It's already working. You're not buying into a vision. Yes, you're obviously buying into a vision, but you're not buying into a dream. The blockchain is live. We're already working, and you can take part right now. I know there's maybe, okay, the next one. Hi Willem, which company are top traders that are in the market? I'm not sure how to answer that one. Top traders, I'm not really a trader. So for me, it's very simple. I look at the blockchains the same as I look at like shares. So for me, the list of shares of the list of opportunities is coin market cap. And if you want to stay in the like blue chip category, stay like in the top 10. This is not financial advice. This is just you know, just an idea. Okay, if I can say it, like, I don't give financial advice. I'm just educating on technology. Hi Willem, regarding withdrawing funds, I'm curious about crypto cards linked to platforms that might help maximize tech employee large withdrawals to regional banks. Okay, so guys, what we always teach is, you know, always be compliant, because you don't want to build up a big portfolio and then break rules. Okay, so what we do is always compliant. You must always declare what you do, but you can be efficient. Okay, so yes, there are different sectors. So right now, you know, part of our community, there's a specific private bank opportunity that enables you to have an offshore private bank, and obviously in that private bank you've got privacy that you would like to do. But yeah, so my recommendation is get yourself an accountant that understands the space, and make sure whatever you do is 100% compliant, especially, you know, if you do the business side of things. Make sure you declare your income. Please explain that business opportunity again. Is it more of a franchise kind of opportunity? The business opportunity, yes, it is like, so it's basically you pay per month, but I like to do it per year. So in that year, you've got an opportunity to take advantage of the business. So what is the business? The business is you can start helping to expand the community, because we use the affiliate marketing, network marketing model to build up the customer base. Okay, so you can become an active partner, if I can say like, and help to onboard, teach, and train the community, or you can be just a member, just a customer, and take advantage of the products. So the business opportunity is optional. So right now, out of the 60,000 members, roughly about 6,000 of them has put up their hand and say, hey guys, we want to help expand this community. We like what you guys are doing, and you know, we're here to build it out. So like me, I'm one of those 6,000. Okay, hand noted. Okay, cool. I think that's all, Mr. Zaba. If there's any other questions, I see Joseph's got his hand up. Maybe you want to give him an opportunity.
Yes, yes, please. Prajo, you can sit, my brother. Can you unmute Parajoyo? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks, William, for the presentation, you and Isaac. I'm from the U.S., as you probably can tell by my dialect. And, you know, I'm glad to hear that South Africa is really getting the crypto space more into a regulatory requirement. As you know, we've got the Genius Act here. And there was a company called Renex some time ago that did not give South Africa and also the space of stable coins, the digital coins, a real good name. So I'm glad that the regulatory requirements are in place. My question is this for businesses, because I'm an investor in South Africa. And as you know, the SWIFT system is just so slow, and that's why people are going to blockchain. Um, I guess where is the stable coins or your group? How are you dealing with that cross-border transaction, right? Kind of like the XRP ledger. Whereas these stable coins, as you buy them, they're able to transact to different countries. Because as you mentioned, the U.S. and Canada, there are some coins that you cannot buy, and there are some coins that South Africans can buy in the U.S. And if I have an investment company that is doing cross-border transactions, has business in the U.S., my question is that how do we solve that problem, or do you offer that type of a service or platform so that we can do that? And I'll give you one example, XRP. XRP Ledger right now is backed by the United States Treasury. I would hope that South Africa's Treasury would actually start issuing coins also for a one-to-one match. So that's my question: is that how, you know, how can I do cross-border transactions if I'm, let's just say I'm invested in a farm. They start selling product into the U.S. I get paid in stable coins, and then I'm able to deposit those stable coins into my account.
That's a great question. I actually don't. I'm not qualified to answer that question. So what we can do. So the technology can definitely handle the problem, if I can say that. I mean, there's different ways. You can do your own tokenization on top of it. You can use the current integrations that's already available. So the question is the regulatory side. So and as I said, I'm not qualified there. I'm only teaching on the technology side. So the best would be to get in touch with, you know, like an accountant in South Africa and maybe an accountant on your side, and see how you guys can legally get that interface going. So yeah, but the technology can definitely solve the problem for you. There's different ways. You can launch your own token. You can yeah, it's endless ways you can address that problem from the technology point of view.
Okay. Any other question, please? Anybody would like to ask some question? Let's check again there on the chat box. If there's anything else there, will you please post some links so that we can go check the information directly on the website or report it for you?
I think the best is that we can maybe set up a structure. We can, Isaac and myself can speak with you, and we can see how we can get people educated, because I think the key thing here is to understand, first of all, it's not a central platform. So we're going to need to like level up on education. So I teach cold storage. So there's a lot of education to get done before you start taking action. So I would highly recommend we get those building blocks, education blocks in place before everybody just run in. And I think we should just set up a formal structure for that.
Okay, I think I like that, Willem, and I'll definitely take you up, you and Isaac, on that. That's very, very important. So that because I know a lot of people, they're either confused about this blockchain, crypto. It's so new and it's so difficult. You see, as you are busy going through your graphs and all of that, and not everyone has got that patience to go through that. And people want to know what is the quickest investment. I'll tell you a kind of a funny story. Generally, our people, they are used to, what do you call it, Banoi in English? Willem, do you know it, Banoi? Okay. What do you call your flying? What do you call this? You guys help me. You know English. Those who play Amapanoi like yourself. What do you call it?
Fly by night.
Oh,
Fly
thank
by
you.
night.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to have educated people. Fly by night, Ponzi schemes. And I'll tell you, people will deliberately get into a Ponzi because they know very well that it's a Ponzi, but they're gonna make a quick buck. And once they call it an aeroplane, once it falls, and they will say, "Oh, it has fallen." But this is not a Ponzi. I think it's important to mention that this is real investment. And I believe we need to educate our people about these types of real investments, and especially or scams. So thanks so much, Mr. Zuma. And especially you, Brajo, there overseas. I think you were sharing some very important information. Isaac shared with me. I think what is this, Venom? There was a law passed last week, which was giving much of a necessary impetus to Bitcoin, especially because President Trump is really for cryptos, unlike maybe the previous administration. So there's a lot of traction that it's taking up this whole cryptocurrency. It's sort of like a sector, and we do need to have people educated more and more. Anybody? Oh, Isaac, you wanted to weigh in on that?
Yeah, no, thank you, Kuku. Yeah, no, I was sharing with Kuku, I think about 2-3 days ago, whereby the United States has given, in terms of the act now, Bitcoin, whereby it's been classified as the digital commodity, which it gives a much more better clarity, which has been a gray area in most of the regulators. So now that the USA has taken a lead by defining as to what Bitcoin is, all the countries, I think, are going to follow the same. Now that Bitcoin is being clearly defined, we're no longer going to have this confusion with the regulators. When they want, they classify it as a security when it favors them. Some other time, they classify it as a commodity. US has made it clear now. About 2-3 days ago, a law has been passed whereby Bitcoin is being classified as a commodity. So basically, it's a digital asset. So we as South African, we always follow UK. So we're expecting that in the next coming 6 or 12 months from now, also South Africa will declare the Bitcoin as a digital commodity. Once that is being done, then there is no confusion in terms of the declaration. I'm talking about tax now, implication as to whether you declare as a security or you declare as a digital commodity. So it's going to be clear going forward, and hence the future is bright, because even the institutional funding, massive of it now, is coming on blockchain because of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marcelina. That was very, very important for me. I think it is a fact that the US leads in these things, and I'm sure it's gonna cascade downwards, and we are all gonna start feeling it here, because I think it's Standard Bank that took the regulator or the authorities in South Africa to court about such issues, because there's a lot of murkiness around this. But now that it's been cleared like that in the US, I think it's going to help all of us regarding how we move forward. Before my colleagues, Willem and Isaac, say their parting words, anybody else who has got a question or a comment, and thanks so much to be for sharing some information in terms of tokenization and IPOs, sharing some similarities, but saying that they are not identical and breaking it down nicely for us. I think people can be able to, on their own, go and read that. I'm going to take 2 more questions. Tembegani Dlamini and Danaswa.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, Mr. Kaba, for bringing these gentlemen. I've got 1 or 2 questions. The first one being that, it is sort of a comment. South African banks are very skeptical or scared of Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies, because I remember when this came into the market, or it was first started. So Luno had 2 accounts with South African banks, being Standard Bank and FNB. So FNB closed down its account with Luno, but we do know who owns FNB. So I think I understand his frustration. But do you think that in South Africa it will do very well regarding that skepticism among South African banks? Probably the second question is that do you need time in order to make money out of things? Because you'll find that more especially Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency is very volatile. Let's say you buy a coin at 2 million or close to 2 million Bitcoin in South African rands. And then you find that it drops instead of going up. And then that is where most people make mistakes because they just go there and withdraw all their money, not knowing that they are losing money instead of making money. But if you hang around long enough, so if it tips over 2 million or it is over above what you purchased the coin for, that is the right time to withdraw. So, but you'll find that it will stay there for 6 months, and then you find that you're losing money, and then you end up withdrawing all your money. So I'm not so sure whether I'm clear in terms of getting that across. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Amini. Madam, you would like to come in?
Thanks. So there's two parts of that question. So the first part is, will the banks like it, guys? If you are a big business and there's a small business now coming to take your market, are you going to like it? No. So I cannot see that the banks is going to like it. But what I do know is, when I was very small, we used to have the big R1 silver coin. And I think it was like 80% silver. So you could have just accumulate those big R1 coins and you would have actually had silver today. Then we transitioned, into the checkbooks. I don't know if you guys can still remember, you got two versions of the checkbook. You got the paper version and then you also got the rubber version because some people use the rubber version of the check. And then we transitioned into the credit cards, okay? And in the beginning, I can still remember, I really thought, we got the checkbook. Now I got this credit card thing and we still need to fill in the paper, and you had those machines that goes to the left and right. And it's almost like writing another check. Little did I know where this technology will go. And think about it, guys, how much transaction fees MasterCard and those people and Visa just makes, because they take a percentage of the transaction. Where blockchain is totally different. If I send money with a blockchain transaction, whether I'm sending 100 Rand or whether I'm sending 10,000 Rand, my fee is the same. Okay, so it's a total new era. So here's, as I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you guys financial advice. But here's what I would recommend. Get to learn how it works. Make sure that you understand it, that you don't get caught with scams, that you don't get caught with phishing attacks. Make sure that you are qualified to operate the technology. Okay, so and let's see where it goes. And what I've also learned, I'm a big physical guy. I love silver. I love gold. If you buy silver every week or every month or every year, if you constantly in a specific asset, you will learn the trends and you will know when it's on sale and when to buy more. And that is the second point of the question, when should we buy and when should we sell? If you look at the fundamentals of Bitcoin halving is driving the fundamentals. Every 4 years, there's a halving. It reduces the supply. I think right now it's 3.15 Bitcoins coming to the market every 10 minutes. Okay, in roughly about 2.5 years from now, there's a specific date, it will halve. And that will automatically reduce the supply. Okay, and what happens when there's less of an asset and there's more demand for it? It's a pivot. The price will change. Okay, and that's also why I like Apertum, because it's got that same fundamental built into it. So here's what I teach my community. There's a simple way where you can get 2 in 1, where you can learn how the technology works and you can start exposing yourself to the market. We call it a cappuccino a day. Many people have a cappuccino or a Coca-Cola or whatever you have. Well, have one less of those things and start moving that value into the assets. It's a small quantity, but that discipline will get you educated. It will get you on top of the market, and over a long period of time, over 5, 10, 20 years, you will thank me for doing that. I hope that answers that question.
Yes, thank you so much. Mgani said, oh, it's answering. The last question from Kanata, Zimbabwe. I hope you are clear, Mr. Ndoro, today. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much, my brother Gugu, for bringing us this wonderful, presentation based on cryptocurrency. So, as you know that I don't want you guys to leave Zimbabwe outside. This kind of information about cryptocurrency, in Zimbabwe, it's kind of weird. A lot of people, they actually talk about issues to do with scams and so forth. So my wish is for you guys in South Africa for you to not let Zimbabwe outside. We also need this kind of investment. We are also looking to you guys helping us to actually, in terms of learning the whole process about cryptocurrency, so that we are not being left outside. So my question is to my brother Isaac and William, to actually, if you if you can assist, especially here people here in Zim, in terms of giving education information about how one can actually go about in terms of cryptocurrency. Thank you.
If I can answer that. So guys, part of my community, you see, I've already got a few customers onboarded. Many of them are Zimbabweans. So already helping you guys over there. The question is, you guys must just plug in and attend the training and take it baby steps. Okay, just always take the next step and start practicing it. And that's how we can help you. If you guys want to set up workshops, I'm always available to teach and to train. We can do it in person. We can do it online. But in person is way better because we know we are using technology and, you know, you need to master a few basic skills in order to protect your assets.
Oh, thank you so much. I think, Tanaso, we will definitely link up with you. And I would ask the president to make you an ambassador of Zimbabwe. You are so much standing up for your country, young man, and congratulations. You just recently graduated in agriculture. Thanks so much, Tanaso. You are doing a good job. Tanaso is part of our leadership in Zimbabwe, which we are going to talk more about as we wind down. So I think that's all. Is there anybody else that I'm leaving behind? Thanks, Pakatwaya. You're doing a great job. Right. Your last parting shot, Valen and Isaac, to encourage people and as to how do we move forward from here. But obviously, Valen, you have already alluded that we are going to have to organize another session which is more intimate that will teach and educate people. But what is your last words around this?
Let me go and then Mr. Isaac can have the last word. So from my side, guys, don't be afraid of the technology. It's like using from basic math to a calculator to the next step. Get involved. You don't have to put in big money to understand how it works. Get the understanding, get the education. Don't get left behind. What's happening right now is the biggest wealth transfer in the world. Take advantage of it and always just take that next step. So that's my final words.
Well, thank you so much. Truly appreciate your being here. And this is not the last time, I can assure you. Isaac?
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Klaba, for the invite. My departing message is that to your members, we have a rare kind of an opportunity whereby we create our own market, we control our own supply, we develop our own value, and we're operating globally. With a split of a second, we could move $1 million USDT from South Africa to America, or from America to Zimbabwe, or anywhere, without getting or requesting a permission to any whosoever kind of a regulator. That's the reason why they don't like blockchain. That's the reason why they don't like decentralization. But unfortunately, there's absolutely nothing that they can do with it because it's here to stay. The next multimillionaires and multi-billionaires are going to be from the blockchain and cryptocurrencies. And I'm very thankful that I'm one of those multimillionaires and billionaires in the blockchain. So you can be. We are having sessions during the course of the week. Some are virtual, some are physically, for those who are able to make it in those. And the platform that we're going to create for this group, let's participate if you want to leave a legacy for the generation and the generation that is to come. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Masilela, and for your words, and Mr. Pester. Truly appreciate your being here, colleagues. I know you just said just a bit, and I've attended your classes, and I'm part of this as well. And I think there's a lot more to come, and we're gonna definitely be in touch. Truly appreciate it. Yeah, the announcements, colleagues, are as follows. The Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we obviously have set up in Malawi. Painstakingly, we're setting up in different countries. Zimbabwe, we're working on it. Eswatini is set up already. Uganda and Ethiopia, we are coming. We've got our conference next year. Do not, again, I repeat, do not miss our conference next year. It's going to be at another level. We are going to be announcing it, I think, in January to say how much it's going to be, where it's going to be, and what is going to be contained there. It's 3 days. The first day will be your golf for golfers, together with the gala, the dinner for the golfers, and I must thank my team from the USA, our members there who flew all the way to Paraguay, where we're signing our agreement as well with one important chamber. So we are going to have this second one in March, I think 26th, 27, 28, 26, and the 27, 28 is going to be the sort of like the conference for 2 days, where we'll be having a lot of our investors coming from United Arab Emirates, from the US, from Germany, and from some parts of the African continent, wherein we are going to be discussing and as well as implementing. As you know, our motto is implementation times 3, and that's what we are about. So we'd love that by that time we have our Malawian, Zimbabwean, Eswatini, Uganda, Ethiopian chapter, and probably Nigerian chapter fully secured, so that they too can be part of our conference next year, because it's no longer just a national conference, but it's a continental and international conference of Amandla Omnotho. So if you've never been part of it, please make yourself and do yourself a favor and make sure that you come this time around. I was addressing part of the people who are addressing the KwaZulu-Natal Investment Conference this past couple of weeks, and I was very heartened to hear people who attended our conferences from 2019 and behind and beyond, saying they actually attended our conference, and today they are producing and they are selling products not only locally but internationally. We'll have some of those people giving such testimonies. And we are running right ahead with our medicinal herbs. Medicinal herbs, we are going to be soon putting some people who are interested in farming on medicinal herbs into co-ops. I will not talk much about this. Safe to say, there is one of our key members here who's been able to secure money from the Jobs Fund in millions, and some of that money is going to be helping our members here to secure some assets that will ensure that they get assisted in producing as well as processing some of their medicinal herbs. So we'll be soon calling for such people, especially those who are in turmeric, because they have shown an interest and have even been trained. But I must emphasize this: we are going to be targeting members who are registered in Rural Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and that's why we encourage you to go and do that. www.ruralchamber.co.za/membership. Join and become a member. Remember, we said we are no longer playing marbles. We want people who are serious, who are going to be members. If you want to be a member for free, there's a space for you. If you really think you do not have money, we do not discard people who say they don't have money. But those that have got a bit of cash, make sure that you join in. It's 500 rands per annum, 46 rand or so per month as a basic membership, and then it goes up to silver, gold, and platinum, up to 5,000 rand per annum. And we'll unfortunately be selecting from those that are supporting the work that we're doing, who would have joined in and become members in good standing. And we're bringing in the network marketing, sessions over and above what we have already discussed here in terms of the sessions that will come before the end of this year, which is how to properly do planning for your entrepreneurship journey, as well as how to identify opportunities and how to take care of your psychological life as well as your mental life, which is very important, as Matawa was giving us a preview for that this afternoon. So, but we are going to be bringing some network marketing sessions. Remember, we in the past were not very keen on bringing such, because we wanted people to do real business, if you get what I mean. But there was a request from some of the members, please bring some very good, authenticated and not STEM type network marketing sessions that we can learn from. I learned a lot, as Isaac was mentioning, about Jim Ron, about Mr. Brown, and many others from way back on the networking marketing sessions that one used to attend. I used to join a lot of those, and that is, I think, one thing that people must understand, that this type of a segment it helps you a lot to learn and to get trained. So we'll be bringing some of those. Please be on the lookout on our WhatsApp groups when we'll be posting things, as well as on our Amanda Omnoto Facebook page and Google Educate tab. Thank you so very much for coming through. Fully appreciate your spending time with us. And thank you. May you have a good week ahead.